Hey friend, how you doing? This is Tim Shurr, president of Shurr Success Seminars, and today I want to share with you a mesmerizing sales secret. 3 secrets, in fact, for how to close more sales over the phone. Here's the question. What's going on inside the minds of top achievers that cause them to make extraordinary breakthroughs both personally and professionally? My name is Tim Shurr, and I invite you to join me as we take a deep dive into the unconscious mind and discover how to transform your biggest dreams into a reality. Welcome to the How to Be Mesmerizing podcast. Secret number 1, you want to make sure that if there's any way possible, you get those people that you are reaching out to call you. Now, the fastest way to get someone to call you is through referrals. I know that a lot of times people are making cold calls, yet those warm, fuzzy calls are the way to get results faster because you are using the influence and the prestige and the connections and the trust of others to get in the door with other people. And when you do that, it causes people to feel like they can trust you because they are getting a referral. So even if I am calling somebody new, I will find a way to connect with them so that I can at least say, hey, this is Tim from Shurr Success. I was talking to a friend, Joe. I think you know Joe so-and-so, and he said that I should reach out. And now all of a sudden, I am using somebody that they know as a leverage point. And if I leave that message and I've left somebody's name, they will often feel obligated because of their relationship with that person to call you back. When someone calls you back, now all of a sudden, when you answer the phone, you are not trying to sell them something. You have become the advisor because they are calling you. When you call up them and you're like, hey, I'm Tim from Shurr Success, they're like, okay, right? Is this guy going to give me value or is he going to waste my time? But if he's actually calling me back, then all of a sudden the tables have turned. It's a little reverse psychology. And now what happens is I've become the advisor and he's calling me. Hey, this is Tim. How can I help you? Right? And so getting people to be able to call you back is going to be in part because of the relationships that you have built. And also if you are leaving them a message and the message creates curiosity, the message gives them a reason to call you back, right? So if you call them and say, hey, I sent you that proposal, just wondering if you got it, you're probably going to hear crickets, right? A lot of times we'll write proposals and send them out and then wonder if anybody even ever looked at them. And so if you give someone a reason to call you back though, hey, this is Tim. I found that research that you were wanting, that you were interested in. Call me back. I got some numbers. It's going to surprise you what I found out, right? And so now, okay, well, now I have a reason to call them back because 1, he did me a favor, and 2, I want to know what he found out. Okay, so if you can use curiosity or some kind of urgency to cause people to want to call you back, then that's going to help a lot. Secret number 2 is to create doubt, or what I call install doubt in people if they are not going the direction you want them to. Okay, so when I worked at Radio Shack a long time ago, I would sell batteries, and the more expensive the batteries were, if I sold brand names, they cost more. People would come in to buy the cheap batteries, and I'd say, you really want to put a cheap battery in your fire detector, right? Your fire alarm? Because what if it doesn't work? These things die real fast. I mean, don't you want to make sure that your family's safe and protected for, a couple extra bucks? And then people will be like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy those cheap batteries for something like this, okay? Not all the time, but a lot of times my closing rate went sky high just because I would cause doubt. Before I worked at Radio Shack, this is like 30 years ago, I used to sell vacuum cleaners, right? So, of course, they were home cleaning systems at the time. And I would tell people that, okay, I want you to go ahead and take your vacuum cleaner and run it up and down the hallway, and then I'll do it right after you with my new improved, vacuum cleaner. And so they would run their vacuum cleaner up and down the hallway, and then I would take a little cloth and I would put it between the filter of the bag, and then I would vacuum, and then I would open up the top of this. It was a TriStar Pig at the time, and I would open up this vacuum cleaner and all this hair would pop out of it. And that was actually stuff that had picked up off the carpet. And people were like freaked out. I installed doubt because they literally said, hey, I just vacuumed over there and now you went over there after I did it and picked up all this stuff. Oh my gosh, now I have to buy your $1,300 vacuum cleaner, which was very expensive, back in the 90s. Okay. And so again, creating a sense of doubt. I've had people that they're like, well, we want to bring you in for sales training, but we've got 4 other people. And right from the bat, I'm like, well, that's fine, but I'm not a sales trainer. I'm an expert in human behavior. I'm a human behavior specialist. I'm going to drive into their unconscious minds and I'm going to shift things at an unconscious level. And sales trainers just do not have that education. They don't have the background, right? So they're going to give you their PowerPoint, but right off the bat, I'm starting to make a distinction between them and me. right? It creates a sense of doubt, right? And then I've had that all the way through with people to the very end. They'll say it's between you and someone else. And I'll say, yeah, well, you had a conversation with that person. How'd it go? And they would say, well, he did a lot of talking, right? And I said, how'd it go when I was talking with your people? And he said, you did a lot of listening and people really felt connected. But we like both of you. And I'd be like, yeah, but do you really want someone who's doing all the talking and not doing the listening? Is that the kind of person? Do you want your salespeople doing all the talking and not listening to their customers? Is that what you really want? And then you want someone like that to train your whole team? And then all of a sudden this manager was like, well, no, I guess not. See, I installed doubt because I started causing them to think about things that they hadn't considered before. And if they already have their decision made up in their mind and you don't go in there and install doubt in that decision, they're going to go ahead and follow through. And if that decision does not work with you, then you're going to lose that sale. And so top sales pros will close that sale and beat out anybody else because of their ability to install doubt. I had it happen to me too. I had a friend one time and he was looking over a program that I wrote and he said, do you really think you're a good writer? And I'm like, well, yeah. He says, are you sure? And just those, do you really think you're a good writer? Are you sure? And I was like, what? And it messed with me. And so he was just trying to get me to use some other people to write some of my stuff to free up my time. And so he was installing doubt to kind of shake it up a little bit because I wanted to do all the writing, right? And so now what I found is I have a copywriter that I work with, and it ends up being much better because I can still put all the ideas in there, and then the copywriter can come and make it all polished and excellent, and it works out great. But that might not have happened if a friend wouldn't have used doubt for me, okay? So he installed doubt in me, and it ended up leading to something good. Now, the third secret to closing more sales is you got to lean in for your customer. What that means is you got to take a stand for them. This might be the only opportunity that you get to actually talk with your customer, and you got to really make sure that you are taking a stand and leaning in and going after that sale. So many people are afraid to ask for the close. They're afraid to say that their product is better, their service is better, their pricing strategy is better, or their guarantees are better, or whatever it might be. You got to believe in what you're selling, and if you are, then you're going to lean in. Now, when you lean in for them, though. You lean in offering even more value. In your mind, you have to believe that if they go somewhere else, they're going to get a poor deal. It's not going to go as well. They're not going to get the outcome that they want. They're not going to get the result that they want. So I 1,000% believe in my product, my service, what I offer people. And so I really lean in hard and push them to go with me and work with me because I know I'm going to get them a better outcome than anybody else they bring in. I believe that, and I've seen it from experience. And so I lean in hard for them, not for me. I'm not leaning in just to close the sale. I'm leaning in to close this sale because I know it's going to be better for my customer. And so I'm showing them the value, I'm showing what they're going to get, and I've created a system just from these 3 secrets that I'm sharing with you. I've already got a referral or a connection, so I've built that credibility. And then I've given them the ability as we connect to be able to say, hey, this is what we need to do. And if we don't go this direction, this bad thing might happen, that thing might happen. So I'm already the advisor. I'm installing doubt and going in any other direction except what we're going to do. And then I show them how by us working together, they're going to get the greatest amount of value. They're going to have the best experience because we're working together. And when you line it up in that way, you're going to see your sales go way up. You're going to see your close rates go way up as well. And you're going to find that you have better relationships with people because you're taking care of them. You're treating them as friend, as family, right? Assuming that you like your family. You're taking care of them, and you realize that when you close a sale, it's not just closing a sale because you don't want to close a door. You want to keep that door open. So it's just step 1 in building the relationship. So use these tools, use these strategies right away, and watch your sales closures improve so that you can be at the top of your game. Hey, would you like more free tips on how to be a mesmerizing leader? Then check out mesmerizingleadership.com and also hang out with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tim Shurr. Thanks so much, and make your day a sure success.